I've always wanted to have my own personal brand. I've always wanted to build a following and share my ideas and build an audience and a social media following around who I am and the stuff that I believe in. But I've been very fearful to do so. And recently I read a book called Show Your Work, which has completely transformed the way I think of self-promotion. And in this video, I'm going to go through the lessons that I learned from Show Your Work, and hopefully you can use it to apply some of these strategies into your life and your own brand. Hey everyone, my name is Tim Stoddart. I am the CEO of Stodsy Incorporated. I'm a writer and I live in Nashville. Like I said before, I've always wanted to have my own personal brand, but I was always afraid to put myself out there about what other people would think about me. Mostly that my work wouldn't be any good. So for this reason, I've always focused on SEO, on search engine optimization as a way to generate traffic to my websites and grow my businesses. But one of the downsides of that is that SEO is very transactional, which is why it's very good to sell products and sell services, but it's not very good to create a relationship with people. Because when people go to Google, they find what they're looking for, and then they either buy the product or they buy the service or they don't, and then they leave. My companies have done really well with SEO. But like I said, I've held back from creating some of the other kind of content that could grow a brand, that could grow a following for me and what it is that I want to share. So last month, I've been thinking about this a lot. I took a step back. Over the last 2 years, I've been working really, really hard, and I just decided to take a break. And I've been following some of the videos from Ali Abdaal. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Link to his YouTube channel is in the description of this video. He's phenomenal. And in one of his videos, he introduced me to this book called Show Your Work. Show Your Work is written by a guy named Austin Kleon, who I'm a big fan of. I've been following Austin Kleon's blog for a while, and I've already read one of Austin's books called Steal Like an Artist. And I thought that book was clever, but this book has had a huge impact on me. And these are the lessons that I've learned that I'm going to incorporate into my own work going forward. The first lesson is to be an amateur. The trick to creating content online is to always treat yourself as though you're an amateur, because if you're an expert, there's not that much room for you to grow. There's a great quote in the book from Charlie Chapman. It says,
"That's all any of us are, amateurs. We don't live long enough to be anything else."
Ultimately, being an amateur is about one thing. It's the pretense that the best way to get started on the path of showing your work is to figure out what it is that you want to learn and learn that thing in front of other people. So showing your work is about failing in public. It's about learning in public. It's not necessarily about building in public. All right, lesson number 2, document the process. If being an amateur is a way to approach showing your work, documenting the process is what it actually means to show your work. So the trick to self-promotion online isn't to talk about yourself. It's quite literally to document the things that you're working on. So whether I'm building my agency, or whether I'm working on Copyblogger, whether I'm working on my fitness, which is something that I do a lot, the best way to create content that is self-promotional is just quite literally to record yourself doing it. Maybe take pictures of outlines that you've created. Maybe take pictures of doodles that you've created and post them on Instagram. Use Twitter as a way to take maybe quick 30-second videos. Like, hey, this is what I'm working on. Let me know what you think. And then obviously what I'm doing right now, using YouTube as a way to document this process of me figuring out how to do self-promotion. So showing your work is nothing more than documenting the process, but it's a very effective way to promote yourself, because the reality is no matter how far along you are or how at the beginning stages you are, there's still going to be somebody else that wants to follow along with that, because they can use your experience as a way to get better themselves. All right, and then lesson 3, and this is a big one for me, is that there's really nothing to be scared of. I think everybody can relate to the idea that they're going to put stuff out there and worry about what other people think about them. But something that really helped me is try to flip it around. When you're seeing other people putting themselves out there, do you ever really think, oh, that's really stupid? Or do you mostly think, oh, that's so cool, like such and such is creating videos about kickboxing. Look at them go. That's really cool. I want to support it. Or this person is writing blog articles about baking. That's so cool. I want to support it. So if I am never really judging other people for the content that they're creating, why do I think that they're going to judge me? They're not. There's nothing to be afraid of. The reality is most people are supportive, and even more than supportive, most people want to follow along your journey, because that's what it means to document the process. Audiences don't just want to stumble across great work. They want to participate in it. And then this was a quote that I thought was really, really great. And this is about like loving your bad work, because in order to continuously document your process and to show your work, you're doing so with the knowledge that you're not putting really published stuff out there with like high production value. You're putting a piece of yourself out there, which is in most cases rough and unpolished and jagged. And so this is a great quote to end it on. You have to have the courage to keep loving your garbage, because what makes us unique is the diversity and breadth of our influences, the unique ways in which we mix up the parts of our culture others have deemed high and low. So cool. No matter who you are, somebody is going to see your garbage in one way and somebody else is going to see your garbage in another way. So who are we to say, this is my bad work, right? Because it's the culmination of all of it that ultimately is going to be like the final judgment of what it is that you do. This is the first video that I put out on YouTube in a long time. I've been doing my interviews and my podcasts, and to me, those always feel a lot more comfortable because I don't necessarily have to put myself out there. I can just bring somebody else on as a guest and like allow them to expose themselves, and I can just sort of ride the wave of that. But I'm ready to start doing this, like for real. I've always wanted to create fitness videos and felt like there's no point because, I'm not a fitness expert. And I've always wanted to write blog posts about, lots of different stuff, but I never did because in my view, everybody just sees me as like this online business SEO expert. And who am I to talk about anything else, right? And that's all going to end today. I'm planning a content schedule that is going to incorporate video and social media and the written word and even like some Instagram stuff. And I'm excited about it. So this is me showing my work. This is me exposing myself. This is me exposing my thoughts to the world and using it as a way to promote myself. So I hope you'll follow along. Please subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. We'll see you next time. Peace.